All right, YouTube. There were reports that David Koch, one of the Koch brothers, I know it's Koch, but I call them the Koch brothers because that's what they are. They're Kochs, corporatists, neocons. They were banding around the idea, I guess, of pumping millions of dollars into the Gary Johnson campaign, literally backing the Libertarian Party as a third-party option against. They don't like Trump, because they backed Scott Walker, and I believe they backed Rubio for a while. They both failed miserably, and so there was nobody left, I guess, that they really wanted to get behind. They kind of liked Cruz, but not enough to actually fund him much. And they don't like Hillary Clinton, which is weird because she's basically Scott Walker, only, she's female and a Democrat. She's got the same exact weird views. The Kochs aren't libertarians. My thoughts are this. The Koch brothers are not libertarians. I know that they've been confused with that title before, but if you look at the sort of people they've backed, it's quite clear that they don't actually believe in libertarianism. If you look at the money that they've put in elections since the 90s, it's almost all to the GOP. They're not backing the actual Libertarian Party. The only reason that there was even talk of this is because they happen not to like the Republican candidate. But what they see in Trump, I guess, is he's not extreme enough for them on social issues. That is, he doesn't want to keep the wedge issue politics going so they can get their kickbacks. And appears not to even really want their donations. Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, it would be a little odd if the Kochs, who are sort of identified as the boogeyman for every Democrat in the country, if they were to suddenly back the Democratic candidate, it would be kind of a losing proposition both for the candidate and for them getting a payoff. And they can't back Trump because Trump doesn't want their money, so they were looking at other options. My wisdom for them is back Jill Stein. Because the Libertarian Party doesn't need your bullcrap. My advice to Gary Johnson is if he's approached with this money, he should run as far away from it as fast as he can. Because the Kochs poison everything they touch. They're neocons. They're corporatists. They're not capitalists. The Koch brothers, if they were running the Libertarian Party, they'd take the essence of actual capitalism and bastardize it into a weird sort of Paul Ryan, Ayn Rand bullshit thing with pro-corporation. Well, the Libertarian Party is not pro-corporation, it's pro-business in general. That is, a small business, a large business, doesn't matter. It should be an even and easy playing field for them all, as well as entrepreneurs. What the Kochs want, what the neocon corporatists want, is big corporations that give kickbacks to the government get favorable treatment under our tax code. They get favorable treatment in lawsuits. They're protected by bureaus from any sort of meddling, while small businesses, regional chains, and single entrepreneurs, like myself, essentially, taxed as though I'm a small business owner, we get screwed. The corporations like Walmart or something like that, they get off scot-free. They don't pay a cent. And that's what they want. The Koch brothers' neocon ideology is as far removed from genuine libertarianism and pragmatic libertarianism as a fucking communist. They are as far removed from it as one another. Because in both cases, the government is taking a heavy-handed approach towards meddling with the taxes, meddling with the legal system, meddling through bureaus to preserve one corporation at the expense of any competitors that it has. That's what it's all about for the Kochs. Again, look at their spending record. They haven't backed the Libertarian Party. The fact that they've even apparently considered it is very troubling. People like Gary Johnson have said, yeah, go ahead and join the LP, but don't think that we're going to get taken over by a bunch of friggin' neocons. I think the risk is there may end up being more neocons leaving the Republican Party because Trump's the nominee than there are actual libertarians within the LP. Which, I mean, it doesn't harm the current crop of people there because there's not enough time for them to get some retard like Ted Cruz in there to be a candidate. But what about the next time around, especially if the Libertarian Party crosses that double-digit threshold it needs to be in the debates, to be on the ballots, which it very well may do. Oddly enough, Gary Johnson appears to hurt Hillary more than he hurts Trump, because he's a more pragmatic libertarian. He's not simply an abolish all taxes, return to the gold standard, no government at all sort of anarcho-capitalist libertarian. He's more of a pragmatist. He understands that libertarianism can actually exist at all. There can't be liberty if you don't have some level of environmental protection. You can't have libertarianism. This is one thing he misses. If you don't have some sort of border control, you can debate all day about what form it needs to take. But it's simply not pragmatic to say we're going to be libertarians forever. Anyone can come over here and completely displace us. And by the way, you can pollute as much as you want, because that doesn't seem like libertarianism to me. It seems like a shitty world to live in. It certainly is. It's if you don't have any environmental controls, and you can talk about whether it should be the federal government involved with it at all or not. If you don't have any, then private citizens can be fucked by somebody else's actions. You know, I dump waste in the river and my next door neighbor downstream is the one paying the price for me dumping that. Well, that's not libertarianism. It's a violation of the non-aggression principle. The problem is who actually enforces that. My idea is a checks and balances sort of system, where it's a combination of local and state government, organized groups of citizens, and then individual citizens themselves, pitting their power against one another in order to keep one another in check while making sure things have some level of organization. And I'm also a pragmatist in terms of the military. I understand the grand chessboard and MAD negate the possibility of simply scaling down the whole military to a few units of men and having just a citizen militia, because the citizens themselves, we can't maintain like nuclear weapons and aircraft carriers and stuff. But if Gary Johnson's smart, he will very publicly and quickly come out, condemn the Koch, say, oh, well, they were never for us before. They were always GOP backers, and they just want to control like a neocon kind of evangelical party where the neocon candidates pretend to love Jesus more than the others. And he should point that out, and then he should say, I don't want your money. And he should continue doing what he's doing. I know the money must be tempting considering the Kochs can flood him with tens of millions of dollars. But I'll tell you this, if the Koch brothers, if Gary Johnson were to take their money, I would not vote for him. I would abandon the Libertarian Party. I'd vote for Trump. Because honestly, it would be a better alternative to someone who's been poisoned by that kind of cash from that kind of source. It would be a little bit like if NAMBLA were funding him or something. That's how poisonous it is to me. The Koch brothers are Republicans, they're partisans, they're neocons in the Bush sense. They're not libertarians. They don't believe in libertarianism. The fact is, their idea of libertarianism is we want to be able to dump our toxic waste wherever we want and face no repercussions because nobody can unionize and we'll just fucking fire them, and the government can't do anything because it's been so slimmed down. That's not what libertarianism means to me. I'll staunchly say, yes, I'm a libertarian, but at the same time, if you're talking about like the Koch brothers kind of corporatism, no, I can't believe in unrestricted corporate action. It's just not possible under libertarianism because they will crush all of their competitors because they've already been set up to do so by ages of interventionism. Force them to play on a level playing field first, let things even themselves out, then you can begin to look at deregulating things further. Again, it's pragmatic libertarianism. It's not simply, we got rid of 99% of all laws, regulations, and bureaucrats in the country and things magically got better. No, they'll become chaotic and libertarianism will strangle itself out of existence. Therein lies the danger. Now, will Gary Johnson be the next president? No, of course he won't. But I'm still going to vote for him, but not if he takes their money. If he takes the money of David Koch, you can be damn sure I'll abandon the Libertarian Party until they come to their senses, because that would be like, it'd be fucking mind-blowing for him to be so stupid as to do that. That's about all. Peace out.